Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Wednesday. That means we've made it to the middle of another week. Of course, that means it's Hump Day, getting over the hump of this week, and it's March the 26th. I hope you had a great Tuesday. I hope that you were able to get some things done, and hopefully it was a productive day. It was a beautiful day, and I think we're set for another beautiful day today. Now that God has, given us the breath to breathe, He's blessed us with the breath to breathe here on this Wednesday morning. And I certainly hope and pray that this morning finds you feeling well. Hope it finds you well rested and ready to tackle the opportunities that God has so richly blessed us with here on this Wednesday morning on this Hump Day. This morning I want to share a devotional with you entitled After the Fall. 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 13. It says, Then David confessed to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. Nathan replied, Yes, but the Lord has forgiven you, and you won't die for this sin. Now you could argue that, aside from, Adam and Eve's, eating of the forbidden fruit, no sin has probably gotten as much press as David's adulterous affair with Bathsheba. It seems like everyone has heard the story. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12, the Apostle Paul writes this. He says, If you think you are standing strong, be careful not to fall. So if you read David's story and think, well, I would never do anything like that, you're missing the point. A better response would be this: God, help me not make those kinds of decisions. Instead, help me stay close to you. The story in 2 Samuel chapter 11, it begins with David being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You see, he was up on the roof of his palace, in Jerusalem, when he should have been with his army, battling the Ammonites. But from his roof, he saw an extraordinarily beautiful woman taking a bath. It was Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, one of David's loyal soldiers. David sent for her and slept with her, and Bathsheba became pregnant with his child. And at that point, David, he could have repented and faced the consequences, but instead he tried to cover it up. He arranged for Uriah to be sent home, from the front. He wanted Uriah to sleep with Bathsheba so that Uriah and everyone else in Israel would assume that, her baby was his. But Uriah refused to enjoy the pleasures of home while his fellow soldiers were still fighting. Instead, he slept outside the palace gates. And so David, he took a more sinister approach. He sent Uriah back to the front with a letter for Joab, his commander. And in the letter, David ordered Joab to station Uriah where the battle was the fiercest, and then pull back the rest of his forces. In other words, he wanted Joab to make sure that Uriah was killed in battle. David probably didn't sign the letter a man after God's own heart. Now this time, his plan worked. Uriah was killed, and David immediately took Bathsheba as his wife, and so that, her pregnancy would seem legitimate. And for a moment, he might have thought that he had gotten away with everything. But there was one problem. 2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 27, it says, The Lord was displeased with what David had done. 12 months later, God sent the prophet Nathan to confront David. And to his credit, now David, he immediately admitted his guilt. David and Bathsheba's child died, and they had to live with that loss for the rest of their lives. But as devastating as his sin was, David, he did make a comeback. He faced repercussions, but ultimately his life ended well. Now remember, David, he came from Bethlehem, and that's where Jesus was born. Now why was that? Well, it's because Jesus was the offspring of David through the bloodline of Mary and the lineage of Joseph. That's why Joseph and Mary went to Bethlehem to be taxed. You want to know who else made it into the messianic line of Jesus Christ? Bathsheba. She repented too, and she was included in the most exclusive genealogy in human history. When you look at the family line of David, you find not only Bathsheba, but also two other women, Tamar and Rahab, both prostitutes who turn to the God who gives second chances. The ideal, of course, is obeying him in the first place. I mean, we need to understand that God's plans are better than ours. Having said that, it does not mean that, that they are always the easiest plans or even maybe the most appealing at the moment. There are times when we are going through life, that we might not like, the plan of God, but God's plans are always better for us in the long run, because you see, God, he sees the big picture. He knows what's best for us. So I hope this is encouraging to you, but I want to leave you with a question to reflect on today. And it says, what God-given second chance are you most thankful for? Think about that today as you go about your business and whatever you're doing today. But anyway, hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.